Movies based on a true story make such an impact in our community, and this is one that people need to see on the biggest screen possible. I'm talking with director Tim Fehlbaum, actor John Magaro. So this is called September 5. Tim, tell us what this movie is all about.
Well, our movie is telling the story of these tragic events of that day in Munich in 1972 during the Summer Olympics, told from a very distinctive perspective. It's a true story of a group of sports broadcasters from ABC Sports that had to make the switch from reporting on the Olympics, the severe games as they were called, to the crisis.
It's such an exciting movie. I love being a journalist. I love movies about these journalism stories and telling these kind of stories like All the President's Men and Spotlight and The Newsroom. And John, your character comes into play here. Where does he come into play, and what about these stories makes you so excited?
Well, Geoff Mason, the character I play in the film, is a real person. He's actually a big reason that this story was told the way it's told. It's his interviews with Tim and Moritz, our other writer, that really inspired this perspective, this analysis of the media's role on that day in '72. He's a young producer. He's ambitious. He hasn't really been at the reins before, and he's starting the day just trying to call a normal sports day, and then obviously the events take a turn for the worse, and he's forced to cover this tragedy. And Geoff Mason was an enormous help in the research for this role. I think when you approach a story, a news story, whether it's All the President's Men, which I think is kind of the gold standard of these kinds of stories, or Spotlight, or anything like that, it's important to have that real perspective, and Geoff is the one who offered that.
It's great you got to talk with him and work this out with him. And Tim, this is just one of these incredible ensemble pieces that we see on film. It's obviously John Magaro. We have Peter Sarsgaard, Ben Chaplin, Leonie Benesch. What is it like assembling these incredible actors, some bigger known, some lesser known, but it's just a great ensemble piece?
Yeah, I would agree. What you say is that it is an ensemble piece, and that's also what the real Jeffrey Mason told us about, how that it was for them as a group, how they grew together, right? So the idea that we did then cast it, or that we wanted it to come together, is that it also should feel like that perfectly working clockwork in a way. Like if you ever have witnessed a control room in a live television, it's like a perfect machinery, and they work all together, and everybody very specifically knows what to do. And the same, in a way, we wanted to have, mirrored in our casting. And I want to add that another, actually, like if you say like Ben and Leonie, John and Peter are the main ensemble, it's like Jim McKay is also part of it, I would say, the real Jim McKay.
Yes, you're absolutely right on that. And archival footage where we get to see that. And this is a 94-minute thriller. It is start to finish. It's so exciting that we get to see this on screen and kind of relive this history that a lot of us didn't know about or weren't a part of. John, what is it like being a part of this, where it's not a 2.5-hour movie, not a 3.5-hour movie. It's a 94-minute thriller that anyone can sit down and enjoy?
Yeah, I mean, when you're in it, you're not really thinking of the time.
Right.
You're just kind of playing the situation. I will say, for an audience nowadays where we have 4-hour movies and 3-hour movies, if you want to get in and out and have a thrill, and be home in time for dinner, then this is the movie for you. It's exciting. It's enlightening, and it's really well made, and it's only 94 minutes. So I encourage people to go to the theater and support it, because it's really a perfect kind of piece of cinema.
It really is. It needs to be seen,
And
like I said, on the biggest screen. Go ahead, Tim.
I would say hopefully raises some interesting questions about how we consume the media today for that dinner that John said. Like you can go and
Let's have those conversations, but first, make sure you go see September 5 in theaters nationwide, January 17th. Thank you both so much.
Thanks, Trevor. Good to see you.